few prizes, John. A spell of much less settled weather for us all this week. I could save you a lot of anguish by simply saying windy with rain at times, but let's try to feed in a little bit of details, starting by looking at the Atlantic charts. That's it today. All the charts have a westerly look, everything coming from the Atlantic across the British Isles this week. A real change. The high pressure has been pushed away. No fewer than 2 weather fronts over the country today, moving rather slowly eastwards at the moment. But the next one developing and pushing rather quickly eastwards tomorrow. Lots of isobars on the charts. So quite a windy day in many northern and western parts of Britain tomorrow, and those fronts bringing lots of rain everywhere during the course of tomorrow. Then another active development taking place in mid-Atlantic. That'll come across the whole country later tomorrow, tomorrow night, and early on Tuesday, with brighter but showery weather following from the west during the course of Tuesday. Then another development, yet another one, forming over southern parts of Britain on Wednesday, pushing rather quickly eastwards across the country. Very changeable weather I'm describing all the time. And then a spell of rather cooler weather on Thursday, a little ridge of high pressure there. This little low still there from the old front, giving some sleet to eastern districts. This little ridge giving bright weather in the west. These fronts possibly giving some rain in the far southwest later in the day. So rather changeable. And then those self-same fronts pushing gradually eastwards across the country on Friday to herald an unsettled, rainy at times weekend. Let's look at that in a little bit more detail. First of all, the radar shows both those weather fronts over Scotland, northern and western parts of England, and over Ireland as well, pushing very slowly eastwards at the moment. Still bright in some eastern parts of Northern Ireland, but that rain in the west gradually getting there during the afternoon, with brighter weather returning to the far west by the end of the day. Elsewhere, rain gradually edging eastwards, much of it light, but not all of it. Central and eastern parts of England staying dry, and in the east, pretty bright as well. Breezy, though, everywhere, especially in the north, quite windy up there, and chilly too. Chilly feel anyway, and particularly near the east coast, it will be chilly, quite raw in fact. 7 Celsius. Tonight, rain at times in the north and west, and increasingly windy in the west as well. A touch of frost, again, in parts of the southeast, 0 Celsius. Most places, a chilly night, 2 to 4 degrees Celsius. Very windy in the west later on. And then tomorrow, a windy day in the north. There we are, quite a bit of rain pushing eastwards across the country. Some snow just for a time on the highest ground in the north. Probably bright just to start with in the extreme southeast there, but even there getting rain later on in the day. Dry for a time in Northern Ireland and Scotland and northwest England in the afternoon, but more rain coming up from the southwest later in a very changeable day. Then more rain, some of it quite heavy in the west on Tuesday. Brighter weather with showers gradually spreading to almost everywhere except perhaps the Northern Isles by the end of Tuesday. Wednesday, some rain eventually getting into the far southwest there. Most places dry, bright, touch of frost early and late, but a patch of rain moving eastward across southern Britain during the day, with brighter weather returning from the west later. Thursday, some sleet in the east, fairly bright and cold, frost early and late in many places, and frost at first too on Friday, but fairly bright, but more wind and rain coming in from the west during the course